When you got out, were you 43 when you got out? You had to rebuild essentially your whole identity. You walked away from who you were and the whole world that you lived in, and you had to rebuild your identity. How did you do that? How did you go about that?
You know, it wasn't easy. I was like, for a while, a fish out of water out in L.A., you know, whole different deal, away from everybody that I knew. It was tough. You know, I had to do things differently. I was always kind of entrepreneurial, so I always had a head for business. But, I mean, they stripped me of everything, you know, and 3 years in the hole. And then, you know, I did 8 years altogether. So government had, you know, they took $15 million in restitution on me. I had $5 million in forfeitures. So they took a lot. And I supported my wife for 8 years while I was away. You know, I came out and really had to start all over again. You know, I'm going to tell the story tonight. It was amazing. Things happened that I never would have expected to happen. You know, if you would have said to me 25 years ago, I'd be speaking in front of crowds about anything, I would have said, you're out of your mind. I had no clue, didn't even think about it. But, you know, all of a sudden, opportunities came out of nowhere. The pastor of my church, who I loved, you know, he used to send me, I met him 3 times. He married me, and I'm in the hole, and he's sending me commissary money. And I told my wife, why is this guy sending me money? I don't feel right. I don't know him. She said, keep quiet. He loves the Lord in turn. He loves you. Just buy some soup in the commissary. I said, okay. So I get out of prison, and he says, Michael, you have an incredible testimony. Would you share your testimony with our congregation, who was so good to my wife? Oh, man, they just embraced my wife.
Oh, that's so cool.
I'm telling you, I became so endeared to Christian people because of the way they took no judgmental at all. They just helped her, right? Wife and kids. And he said, will you give your testimony? I said, testimony? I thought you did that from a witness stand. I don't even know what he was talking about, right? But I couldn't turn him down. So, you know, he had me do a series of 3 talks on 3 different successive Sundays. And all of a sudden, pastors are calling me, and it just turned into a ministry.
Wow.
I can't, if you ask me to look back and how did it really, I don't even know.
Wow.
I don't even know.
Wow. It's like a miraculous one step at a time.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't, you know, people, well, this is a donation for you to do this. I said, it don't feel right, you know. And I had to be schooled through this, you know. But listen, God provided.
So to people that might find themselves in a hopeless place, maybe even a stuck place, feeling like, you know, this is just who I am, or I don't know how to get out of this lifestyle. Maybe it's an addiction. Maybe it's a hopeless place, like where they feel like, you know, my life is over. What would you say to those people on how to move out of that place or grow?
Well, listen, you know, I am a tremendous believer in a good church. I mean, I belong to a wonderful church. You have a wonderful ministry here at your church. And we need help in these things. You know, you need support. But you need support from God-loving people that will put you in the right direction. And then, of course, you have to form that relationship with Jesus. Because like I said, I didn't change myself from the outside in. Jesus converted me from the inside out. But the more I got to know him, the more I entered into this relationship with him, the stronger that became. And then, of course, the people around me were there to support me. And it just grew. So, and you have to believe, look, you know, I tell people all the time, listen, if God can forgive me, I was probably the worst guy in the room. Because whatever I did, Pastor, I did knowingly and willingly. And you know something? When I knew I was doing wrong and felt terrible about it, I did it anyway. I did it anyway. I was a knowing and willing sinner. I had no addiction. I had no problem, nothing. I had no excuses. I just did it. Even when I didn't want to do it, I did it. And God forgave me and gave me so much. Was it hard? Of course. What in life is easy? You know, maybe winning the lottery. Even that becomes hard because people usually blow the money, and then it becomes a problem afterwards. But we had many challenges, you know, but we kept the faith.
Wow.
And the Lord provided.